With WandaVision raising the stakes in terms of power levels, things are about to get really hairy.
Well, whatever is your preference.
But while she'll be busy trying to find Billy and Tommy across the multiverse, life and, more importantly, crimes goes on in city streets across the world. That's where our street-level heroes come in to save the day. While assembling the Avengers for threats in the likes of Thanos or Kang the Conqueror is of the highest importance, more local heroes like Daredevil or Spider-Man are necessary to keep small fry in check.
So where am I right now?
In today's video, I'll rank 20 of these kick-ass superheroes from arrow shooters to web slingers and kung fu fighters. Kate Bishop, who is on her way to become the next Hawkeye in a Disney Plus series of the same name, is one sharpshooter with a dark past. Her first encounter with the Avengers happened while following her shady father Derek Bishop, who was having a secret meeting with the criminal El Matador. There, she got herself caught right after her father left, but was eventually saved by one of Clint Barton's arrows, making him her role model from this day on. Just like the original Hawkeye, Kate does not have any kind of superpowers, but has been trained to kick ass like no other. She's skilled in boxing and jiu-jitsu, to only name two, is great with swords, battle staves, and, most importantly, a bow and a bunch of arrows. You might remember Misty from the Netflix Marvel series Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and The Defenders. While her wit as a detective is one of her greatest skills, she's also a master martial artist, having trained under none other than the Iron Fist and Shang-Chi. Not only can she throw quite a punch with that bionic arm, but she's also an expert marksman able to aim right where it hurts, whether with firearms or even throwing knives.
Nah, I'm good.
Next on our list, we have Hawkeye, who also goes by the name Ronin when chopping down the Yakuza in Tokyo. Hawkeye is a master archer who not only possesses amazing eyesight, but is so good at his job that he can aim at his target without even looking at them. While not at Captain America's strength level, he's actually quite strong. But what is most impressive about the archer is his acrobatic skills. The man can evade oncoming objects as well as he can shoot them. Being an expert tactician and quite a smart character at that, he'll be the perfect tutor to show Kate Bishop the ropes and make her the Hawkeye who will grow to become the leader of the upcoming Young Avengers. Before becoming Moon Knight, Mark Spector lived many lives. Once a US Marine, then a CIA agent, he finally ended up being a mercenary after leaving both organizations. His whole life changed when he was left for dead on a mercenary job in Egypt. While stranded in the desert, Mark was saved by an Egyptian moon god named Khonshu. The god did not only save the soldier's life, but granted him moon powers, which powers him up depending on the cycle of the moon. Like many other street-level heroes, he is an expert when it comes to all sorts of weapons, whether close combat or long-range ones. The ambiguous Black Cat, who just slightly appeared in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, is Felicia Hardy's alter ego. Just like a feline, Black Cat has amazing reflexes, agility, and stamina. As a former professional thief, she can enter any building unnoticed, crack safes, pick locks, and escape at any moment. Black Cat combines her talents with one single superpower she gained by scientists working for the Kingpin: Psychokinesis. Psychokinesis basically allows her to affect probability fields, giving her opponents bad luck in battle, consequently giving her quite an unfair advantage. Now, I might get into trouble for putting that one a bit low on today's list, but like the other characters listed so far, the Punisher is also only human and has his limits. When he lost his family when they were caught in an exchange of fire between criminals, he also lost his mind.
Wait.
Being a trained soldier and having nothing to lose, Frank Castle's greatest weapon is tenacity and endurance. Not being afraid to lose his own life, he would go to any length to end his target. While he's at peak physical condition for a human and knows a thing or two about close combat, he becomes a force to reckon with when equipped with firearms. The Devil of Hell's Kitchen is the modern-day New York City equivalent of Avatar's Toph Bay Fong.
Woo!
Matt Murdock, who goes by Daredevil by night, received his powers after saving a blind man from being struck by a truck. While he did save the man, the truck crashed and radioactive isotopes spilled out and went onto Matt's face, making him blind. While he lost his sight, he gained so much more. The radioactive nature of the chemical that got into his eyes enhanced his whole being, giving him superhuman senses, balance, reflexes, and agility. On top of that, he developed a sort of radar sense, which allows him to map his surroundings by creating a mental picture combining his other heightened senses. Tyrone Johnson, or Cloak, was kidnapped as a teen and experimented on by the criminal chemist Dr. Simon Marshall. The evil doctor was trying to develop a synthetic drug for the criminal organization called the Magia. The injection he received had the effect of engulfing him in darkness and giving him all sorts of powers. His body literally became a conduit for the Dark Force dimension, which prompted a form of malevolent hunger in him. Tandy Bowen, who goes by Dagger in superhero getup, went through the same ordeal as Cloak as they escaped Marshall's lab together. While Cloak's powers come from darkness, hers comes from a form of living light called Light Force, an energy force capable of healing. Dagger generates Light Force and can use it against her enemies in the form of light daggers, which she throws. While Elektra was already a formidable assassin, she only got stronger after she died. When the clan of ninja known as the Hand resurrected her, she acquired a connection to a demon simply called the Beast. His main power is the one of resurrection, and since his influence was used to bring back Elektra, it infused her with a few new powers. One of them being the Assassin's Instinct skill, allowing her superhuman reflexes where she moves like a natural predator and strikes rapidly without warning. There are many ways heroes can get their powers. Through scientific experiments, radioactive accidents, mutant genes, or blood transfusion from a mongoose. But when it comes to Daniel Rand, he took a bit more of a proactive approach. In order to gain the power of the Iron Fist, Daniel went on a journey to battle a literal dragon called Shou Lao the Undying. The fire-breathing dragon, who keeps resurrecting, was eventually defeated by Daniel, who took the dragon's power from his heart. This gave the already well-trained warrior the ability to focus his chi and enhance most of his abilities to superhuman levels. Like his name suggests, his trademark move, the Iron Fist Punch, is capable of destroying the hardest of materials, and even goes to the extent of rendering the X-Man Colossus unconscious. Shang-Chi is another Marvel hero who will soon enter the MCU with the upcoming film Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Originally raised to become an assassin by his father, the immortal sorcerer and unfortunately named Fu Manchu, Shang-Chi decided to join the good guys and teamed up with street-level heroes like Iron Fist and Jack of Hearts. As one of the best martial artists in the entire world, Shang-Chi has been shown to use Chi and power himself up with inhuman force, allowing him to punch through the thickest of walls. One of the fighter's biggest strengths is his unimaginable control over his own nervous system. With enough concentration, he can numb his body to physical pain, resist the effects of poison, and even control the amount of blood he loses if he's wounded. Having bested Iron Fist in the past, Shang-Chi is a master of control and strength. Luke Cage gained his superpowers while volunteering for Dr. Noah Burstein's project on experimental cell regeneration. The purpose of the experiment was to create a super soldier serum not unlike the one used on Steve Rogers. Things did not go exactly as planned, as a prison guard who hated Luke tried to kill him as he played with the controls of the electro-biochemical system Luke was immersed in. This resulted in accelerating the cell regeneration process by mutating them, granting Luke superhuman strength and the durability of a tank. While Luke is quite powerful in terms of strength, being a living shield, his defense stats are what put him so high on today's list. The man is almost invulnerable. Unless you have sharp adamantium on you, anything else thrown at him will bounce right back. Bucky Barnes, who will return in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, has one rough journey throughout the Marvel Universe. During the war, Bucky was kidnapped and brainwashed by Hydra not just once, but twice. After losing an arm after falling from a train, Hydra continued experimenting on him, finally turning him into the Winter Soldier, who they put into cryogenic stasis until the next time they needed him. In the comics, he even gets another upgrade when Nick Fury injects him with the Infinity Formula, giving him a boot in all fields. Just like Captain America, he is a superhuman with super strength, but with some extras. In some versions, the Winter Soldier is equipped with a sensory array, allowing him to map out his surroundings. This function helps him locate any enemies in the area, giving him a tactical advantage. He can also discharge bolts of electrical energy and disable electronic devices using electromagnetic pulses. Call her Spider-Woman or Spider-Gwen or Ghost Spider, Gwen Stacy is one of the coolest Spider-Persons.
Sure.
While we have seen her sling her way into Miles Morales' version of New York and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, we didn't get much of an origin story for her character in that film. While she got powers by being bitten by a radioactive spider just like Peter Parker, she got her costume and web shooters from another source. In her Spider-Verse, she was gifted these items by a retired Janet Van Dyne, who you might know as the original Wasp, played by actress Michelle Pfeiffer in the MCU. Gwen possesses incredible strength, speed, and like any good Spidey, she's one of the most agile superheroes. Starting our top 5 is the fierce Jessica Jones, who used to be the superhero named Jewel.
My job here is done.
Like her ally Daredevil, her origin story implies a car crash and some radioactive chemicals. In the comics, the event also intersects with the Fantastic Four facing Galactus for the first time, which ended up spreading cosmic radiation. As we've seen in the first season of her Netflix show, she was badly affected by Kilgrave, controlling her to do his bidding, scarring her deeply. But despite her traumatizing experience, Jessica can be an extraordinary superhero. She has super strength and durability, accelerated healing, and can live longer than the average human being. She can also fly, which gives her quite an advantage over all the previously mentioned street-level heroes. Continuing our final countdown, we have America's favorite super soldier, the one and only Captain America.
I am Steve Rogers.
While Cap can't fly, he is super in every other way. The MCU's first known superhero was not always the enhanced soldier we know today. In fact, he got rejected from serving the US Army more than once. That is, until he volunteered for Project Rebirth, which was meant to create the perfect war machine. While Steve Rogers is quite the fighter and is quite skilled with his unique vibranium shield, his true strength lies in his undying courage and leadership. Having been through one of the most devastating wars, Captain America is an experienced strategist and knows how to work with a team. Well, besides working with Iron Man, but that's a whole other bag of tricks. A true leader, whoever fills his shoes in Falcon and the Winter Soldier will have to work hard to assemble the next Avengers.
I can do this all day.
In such a short amount of time, we've seen a lot of Spider-Man on screen. From Tobey Maguire's goofy dance moves, to Andrew Garfield's jokey Spidey, and of course, Tom Holland's ongoing portrayal. They just keep coming. One thing that sets the MCU's Spider-Man apart from his previous iterations is all the Stark Industry gadgets that come with him.
Okay.
While he has all the same typical Spidey powers that Spider-Gwen has, like the famous spider sense, wall crawling, and basically super everything, he keeps getting new toys from Daddy Stark, and that's even after Tony is gone. All this technology enhances greatly the web-slinger, allowing him to use the spider drone, a GPS tracking system, and artificial intelligence Jarvis style to provide tactical reports and a good reminder that, while he's super resistant, he's not immortal. While Spidey is still trying to find his own identity, his Iron Man-style Iron Spider armor, which he used during the Battle of Titan, was one cool suit, coming with some handy extra legs. While we might not get a chance to see it in action again, let's hope for some other amazing gadgets coming our way. Today's runner-up is Miles Morales' Spider-Man. Miles' origin story is very similar to the other Spideys I've covered so far in this video.
I love you.
But what sets him apart from the other ones is not shiny gadgets like the MCU's Spider version, but the abilities he gained from that tiny spider. On top of gaining all the traditional Spider-Man powers, Miles is capable of bioelectrokinesis, which means he can use the electricity his body produces and use it in combat. His trademark attack, called the Venom Blast, allows him to send a bioelectric shock whether to stun an enemy or destroy weapons. If he focuses all of his power towards one aim, he can also create an energy beam capable of great damage or even infuse his fists with electric powers. While he started off with regular web shooters like any good Spidey, Miles can also sling by producing bioelectric threads directly from his hands. Oh, and he can sort of become invincible using his spider camouflage technique. The winner of today's long list of fighters is the brutal and fearsome Wolverine. Being well beyond 100 years old, Logan was born with an incredible regenerative healing factor, which not only makes him almost invincible, but gives him the power to age quite slowly. There's no telling how much of a lifespan Wolverine has, but he might just live to see the end of days. Besides healing really fast and having superhuman senses and strength, he also has 6 retractable bone claws which were turned into the indestructible adamantium along with his whole skeleton as part of the Weapon X program. While he can't fly like Jessica Jones, Wolverine is one dangerous loose cannon not to be taken lightly. As the MCU is heading towards more magical and OP characters on the big screen, I wonder what will happen to the more street-level heroes. Will they stand a chance against threats like Kang the Conqueror, or will they get lost in the multiverse of madness?